You can apply a lesson that you learned from your failure to other areas of your life, okay? It doesn't always have to be bar for bar. But that's the beautiful thing about learning from your past failures, that you put yourself in a position to thrive outside of them, okay? And the best way to do that is by taking action on one of those things today.
5 shows made 3 million a week. You are now looking at the bestie elite. You are now looking at the bestie elite. You are now looking at
the best. Hey there, besties. I'm back with another Car Chronicles because we've got to talk how to face failure as your best self. So I've actually had a bit of a rough patch, but I thought, what better way than to constantly practice what I preach than by showing up with you guys to show you how I get over times like this so that you can do the same. With that being said, you guys know the drill. The best are never the best by themselves. So go ahead and subscribe to the community, like this, and share this with somebody that you want the best for. Hope you guys got that water. Let's crack those open. Boop. And let's go. So the first step to facing your failure as your best self is realizing it's not permanent. Like, this might feel hard to do in the moment, especially when you feel like you're constantly failing, constantly falling flat on your face. Everything that you try is not working out. You're pivoting again and again and again and again and again, and it's just like nothing's panning out. Just everything is a lot all the time. Things are not going your way. The things that you had planned on really just coming together, not following through. Trust me, I'm telling you this from experience. But no matter what's happening in that moment, it's not permanent. It's not permanent. It's not permanent. Every single thing that threw me for a loop this year alone was not permanent, okay? How I felt about the situation wasn't permanent. The situation itself was not permanent. Even if it was something that was it couldn't be changed, it couldn't be reversed, etc. How life is right now is totally different from when that failure happened. Do you understand? So no matter what it is, no matter how big it seems, no matter how much it hurts, okay? Remember, it is not permanent, okay? And there has to be some type of solace, some type of joy that comes with knowing that it's not permanent, okay? So if you hold on to nothing else from this entire talk, hold on to the fact that it is not permanent. So the next step to facing failure as your best self is to remember that you have survived 100% of your worst days. Isn't that a crazy thought? If you're watching this right now, I'm pretty sure you've had a worst day in your life. You probably had several. I've had several worst days in my life, okay? I've had days that I wouldn't repeat for the world, okay? And yet and still, you're still here. I'm still here talking to you. You're still here watching me talk to you, listening, engaging in the comments, all the things, right? But in all seriousness, you survived 100% of your worst days. And people always like to say that as a cliche, but when you really sit back and think about it, you're a baddie. What are we even talking about? What are we even talking about? If you made it through 100% of your worst days, that means that the worst of your life couldn't take you out. The worst things in your life couldn't take you out. So even though it feels terrible that it happened, it's uncomfortable, you don't want to repeat it, you survived it. There's people who would love to trade places with you right now because they didn't survive their worst days, but you did. You did. And if that doesn't motivate you, I'm not doing my job. Now, when it comes to how to face your failure as your best self, this wouldn't be a best self video if I did not give you step by step, right? So one thing that you're going to want to do is find 3 things that you can learn from this failure. I know it sounds kind of ridiculous because it's a failure. What exactly are you supposed to learn from falling on your face, right? But hear me out. You survived 100% of your worst days. Nothing is permanent, even your failures. So what can you learn from it? Even though I would not repeat any of my worst days, I can still look back at them and notice that I can learn at least 3 things. I can learn not to trust somebody a certain way. I can learn not to go certain places. I could learn how to be more prepared. I could learn to have a backup strategy in case, things start going south. I could learn to carry more money on me in case I need to get out of somewhere. I can learn to not put all my eggs in one basket. I can go down the list, and that's just from one situation. If I can learn what was that, 6 different things from one failure in one situation, you could find 3. You can find 3 things that you can learn from your last failure. or your latest failure, or failure in general, because we all have them. But it's what you learn from them that helps you to not repeat them again that sometimes make the failure worthwhile. And notice I said sometimes. Not every time. Not every time, but sometimes. So sometimes you walk away better for it. All right, y'all. So when we are talking about the next couple of steps with how to face your failure as your best self, this one is going to make everything I said so far very simple and actionable, because I know y'all hate to have a to-do list, but I do want you guys to take action. So I want you guys to pick one thing you're going to do differently tomorrow. So what this does is it takes it from, you realizing that nothing's permanent, okay, and having some joy and some relief in that. And then understand that you survived, 100% of your worst days, meaning that your failures are nothing in comparison, right? That should motivate you. Taking the time to look back and see 3 things that you learned from the situation should educate you. But now it's time to take action. Okay, so what do we do when we take action? We make it simple. So you're going to pick one thing that you can do differently literally tomorrow. So if the failure that you just went through taught you that don't put all your eggs in one basket, something that you can do tomorrow is maybe, and this might be like so left field, but maybe it could be having different ways that you show up in your business, right? Instead of just like, oh, I only show up in my business if I'm like, DMing people or emailing people or doing sales call. Maybe you can find different ways to really, meet new people maybe in person. Instead of everything being online, find ways to meet people in person so that all your eggs aren't in the basket of internet and you have some online connections. Some offline connections as well. That's like totally left field. It has nothing to do with like maybe like your life. Everybody doesn't own a business. But the same thing can be done for like your employment, right? Instead of just solely relying on that one job, you can pick up a side hustle. Or you might realize that when you rely on just Uber to get you around, when you travel somewhere that doesn't have Uber, you're out of luck. So maybe download Lyft, This is not a promotional for any of them. But what I'm saying is you can apply a lesson that you learned from your failure to other areas of your life, okay? It doesn't always have to be bar for bar. But that's the beautiful thing about learning from your past failures, that you put yourself in a position to thrive outside of them, okay? And the best way to do that is by taking action on one of those things today. This is the most important step of how to face your failure as your best self, okay? And I had to take the best for last, okay? I got you guys to have realization. I got you guys motivated. I gave you guys, things to educate yourself. I even gave you guys an action step. But this is the one that stands out above the rest. You need to give yourself one gift. I know, sounds crazy, right? Why would you be rewarding yourself? Cookies might be for closers, but ice cream might be for you at this moment. It is okay to try to balance out the failures in your life with a little bit of joy. It's okay to pour a little bit extra into yourself, a spoonful of sugar to help the medicine go down, because something about failing, it can do something to your mental, to your physical, it can do something to your outlook on life. But there is something about a good scoop of ice cream. There's something about a funny childhood movie. There's something about hitting up a good friend and having laughs and laughs and laughs. It's something about going out to your favorite park and just sitting down and enjoying it. It's something about giving yourself a little gift just for you, even when everything's going wrong, that helps you to realize that things can be better. All right, besties, that's everything for how to face your failure as your best self. You guys know the drills. Make sure you subscribe if you love what we're talking about here. Be sure to like this video so that I know you want me to make more videos about this. Grab that water, stay hydrated, and I'll see you on the next one.